Hello everyone! In today's video, we're going to go over how to make this sunburst, or also known as a sunflower granny square, using US terms. In today's video, I was using this loops and threads yarn in the color coffee, as well as this big twist yarn in the color mustard, this loops and thread yarn in the color butter, and finally this red heart super saver in the color white, and a 4.5mm crochet hook and scissors to cut off my work. Though this project would work with whatever size yarn and corresponding hook that you may have, though I would recommend a medium weight yarn. We're going to go ahead and get started with a magic ring. Now you can definitely do this square by just doing a regular slip knot, chaining 4 or 5, and then doing a slip stitch into the first chain to make a circle. And I'll show you how that looks once we're done with the project. But in order for me to get started with the magic ring, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold my yarn here between my middle finger and my thumb. And then if I come around to the front, I'm going to cross this so that there's like an X in the front of my fingers here. Then I'm going to grab my yarn, I'm going to go underneath here, and I'm going to pull this one here above and twist around. And now I have a circle like this. And in order to start my project, what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 3. So I'm going to yarn over and pull through, and I'm going to do that 2 more times. And this chain 3 is going to count as if it is my first double crochet. So now in the middle of this circle here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 15 double crochets. So at the end with this chain 3 here, it's going to be as if we have 16 double crochets for round 1. And in order to make a double crochet, I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to insert my hook into the ring here and pull up a loop from the yarn that's in the back. Now I have 3 loops on my hook. What I'm going to do is I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, then I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2 again. So that is 1 double crochet completed. Now what I need to do is I just need 14 more. So again, a double crochet, we're going to yarn over, insert our hook into the circle, and pull up a loop from the yarn that's in the back. 3 loops on our hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So we just want, now that we've done 2, we want 13 more into the middle of this circle. So if you want to go ahead and do that now. All right, so now I have that chain 3 in the middle of this circle as well as the 15 double crochets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this tail here and I'm going to just pull it as tight as I can in order to make my circle a little smaller. So now that I have done that, I'm just going to find the top of this chain 3 and I'm going to make a slip stitch into the top there. So I'm just going to insert my hook into the top of the chain 3. I'm going to pull up a loop through that chain 3 and through the loop that's already on my hook. So now what I'd be ready to do if I'm changing colors here is do that now. So I'm going to chain 1 and grab my scissors and cut off there, pull my hook up and pull tight. Now I would leave this tail out so you can see as you continue to work that this in the middle might start to get bigger and bigger. So by leaving this tail out, you can just give a tug on it between rows or whenever you notice that it's getting bigger in order to just tighten it up a little bit there. All right, so I'm ready to get started on round 2. And for that, if I am switching colors, this is where I'm going to do that now. So I'm going to insert my hook into any one of the stitches beneath me. And I'm just going to leave this tail fairly long here. And I'm going to pull it through that stitch. And now in order to attach that, I'm going to chain 2. And now what I'm going to be doing for this round is I'm going to be doing a round of puff stitches. So I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to insert my hook into the stitch and pull up a loop. So right now I have 3 loops on my hook, 1, 2, and 3. And then I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into the stitch, pull up another loop. So now I have 5 loops on my hook. And one more time, I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook into the stitch, pull up a loop. I now have 7 loops on my hook, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 7. So I do just want to point out for this row especially, you want to make sure that you are crocheting fairly loosely, that you're not keeping your tension too tight. Because when you get those 7 loops on your hook, if your tension's too tight, it'll be pretty difficult to pull them all through. So now in order to close off the stitch, I'm just going to chain 1. And I'm going to continue doing that in all of the stitches beneath me. So for the next one here, I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook, pull up a loop, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, insert into that same stitch, pull up a loop, 5 loops on my hook, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop. I now have 7 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through all 7. And then to close off that stitch again, I'm just going to chain 1. And I'm just going to, as you see as I'm working, this hole in the middle is getting a little bit bigger, and I'm just going to pull that tight. You can also see that I am just going over my excess here, my tails. So I'm just doing that so that I have fewer ends to weave in at the end. So again, we'll do the next one together as well. I'm going to yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, 5 loops on my hook, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop. I now have 7 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 7. Chain 1 to end that stitch. So you just go around each stitch beneath you and put that puff stitch in, and at the end, just like with the first round with that chain 3 and the 15 double crochets, you'll end up with 16 stitches. So if you want to do it one more time together with me, and then we can go ahead and meet near the end of the round to go over how to finish. So yarn over, insert into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop. Then one more time, we're going to yarn over, insert into the stitch, pull up a loop. We have 7 loops on our hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through all 7, and then chain 1. So if you want to meet near the end of the round, and we can go over how to finish the round and start the next one. All right, so I just put my last puff stitch in here. So if you want to, what you can do is you can count your stitches now, just to make sure that you didn't skip any beneath you or add any additional. So starting here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So for each round, you're going to want to end up with 16 total stitches. I'm just going to slip stitch into the top of this first one here. So I'm going to yarn over, pull it through and through the loop that's already on my hook. And then this is where we would switch colors again if you're changing colors. So I'm just going to chain 1. I'm going to grab my scissors and cut off, pull my hook up and pull tight. And if you find too that as you've been working that this in the middle has gotten a bit bigger, you can just again grab onto that tail and pull on it just to tighten it there. But we're ready to get started on the next round. Getting started on round 3, the place that we're going to be working for this round is in this space between the puff stitches. So I'm going to grab my next color here, which is going to be this yellow, and I'm just going to push my hook in there and leaving a fairly long tail once again, I'm going to just pull it through, and I'm going to chain 2 again. So in this round, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be dealing with cluster stitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to yarn over, I'm going to insert my hook into this space between the 2 puff stitches and pull up a loop. I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2 of those loops. And again, I'm going to yarn over, insert into that same space between the puff stitches and pull up a loop. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2 again. Now I have 3 loops on my hook. And one more time here, I'm going to yarn over, insert into that same space and pull up a loop. Currently I have 5 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2 again. So now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to yarn over, pull through all 4 loops that are left on my hook. And then in order to close my stitch, I'm going to chain 2 times. And now I'd be ready to go between the next 2 puff stitches. So for this one, I'm not going to be going over this lighter yellow tail at all, but just for this first one here, I am going to pull this golden here. So going between these 2 puff stitches again, I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook, pull up a loop, 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2 of those loops. Then I'm going to yarn over, insert between the puff stitches again, and pull up a loop. 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2 of them. Now I have 3 loops left on my hook. And one more time, I'm going to yarn over, insert between the 2 puff stitches, and pull up a loop. Right now I have 5 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2 of them again, leaving me with 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 4. So just like the previous round, it may be beneficial to you here to make sure that you're not crocheting too tightly, because again, when you get through that many loops on your hook that you're pulling through all of them, it can be difficult if your tension is too tight. So I'm going to close the stitch by chaining 2. And we're just going to be doing that again in each of the spaces between the puff stitches beneath us until we get to the end of the round. So I'll do one more together with you and then I'll meet you there. So I'm going to yarn over, insert between the next 2 puff stitches and pull up a loop. 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2. Then I'm going to yarn over, insert again into that same place, pull up a loop. 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2. I have 3 loops left on my hook. Then I'm going to yarn over, insert into that same place again, pull up a loop. I have 5 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through 2. So now I have 4 loops remaining on my hook. I'm going to go ahead and yarn over and pull through all 4 of them. And then to close my stitch, I'm going to chain 2 times. So if you want to meet me again near the end of the round, and we can go over how to finish. All right, so I have one last cluster stitch to put in for this round. You can go ahead if you want to double check to make sure that you have the correct number of stitches. You can count again. So I should have 15 right now because I have 1 left to put in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Though of course, if you counted in the previous round as well to double check, you should have no problems here because you're just working into the spaces between those stitches. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put my last cluster stitch in here. 1, 2, 3, yarn over, pull through all 4, and chain 2. And then I'm just going to attach by doing a slip stitch into the top of this one right next to me here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then whenever I'm switching color, I like to just chain 1, grab my scissors and cut off, pull up my hook and pull tight. And I'm going to once more in between each round, I'm just going to grab the excess from my magic ring here and pull tight, just because as you are working, it tends to get looser in the middle there. But right now we'd be ready to add on our background color and get started with our final round for this project. So getting started on round 4 here, the final round, I'm going to go ahead and unlike the other ones, I'm just going to make a slip knot just because I feel for this round it is a bit more secure, though however you want to switch colors is totally up to you. And then I'm just going to be, we're going to be working in the area between the cluster stitches, similar to the last round. So I'm going to insert my hook in here, and I'm going to put this slip knot on and pull it through. And then in order to finish attaching, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be chaining 4. And this is going to be acting as if it is our first stitch for the round. And it's going to be acting as if it is a triple crochet. So now in the same spot beneath us, what we're going to do right now is we're going to put 2 more triple crochets into that space. So I'm going to yarn over 2 times. I'm going to insert my hook between these 2 cluster stitches and pull up a loop. So right now I have 4 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then I need 1 more for this spot here between the 2 cluster stitches. So I'm going to yarn over 2 times, insert my hook and pull up a loop. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be working in this space between the next 2 cluster stitches. And in this space here, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put 3 double crochets. So again, a double crochet, we're going to yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And then I need 2 more in that same spot, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and then 1 more in that spot. All right, and then next I'm going to be working in this spot here, and in this spot I'm actually going to be putting 3 half double crochets. So for that I'm going to yarn over, insert my hook between those cluster stitches and pull up a loop. I have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over and pull through all 3. And I'm going to do that 2 more times into that same space there. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, 3 loops on my hook, yarn over, pull through 3. And then 1 more into that space. I'm going to yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. So now I'm ready to work between these next 2 cluster stitches here. And in this one, I'm actually going to go back and just like I did in the previous one, and I'm going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Now for this round here, what we're doing is we're actually making the square portion of our sunburst or our sunflower granny square. So in this space here, I'm going to start with 3 triple crochets again. So again, yarn over 2 times, insert between those 2 cluster stitches and pull up a loop. We have 4 loops on our hook. I'm going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. 2 more into that same space there. And then the 3rd triple crochet into that space there. And then what I'm going to do, we're going to chain 2 And that's what's going to make the corner here. So now into that same space between those 2 cluster stitches, we're going to put 3 more triple crochets. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. And now following the space with the triple crochets, what we're always going to have here is we're going to have the 3 double crochets. So I'm going to go ahead and put those in here. That's 1 double crochet, 2 double crochets, and 3 double crochets. And in the middle space right here, which is going to be the top of this square here, depending on which way you're looking at it, we're going to put those 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So now in this space again, following the half double crochets, we're going to put 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And now we're ready for our next corner, which means that we're going to be doing those triple crochets. So we're going to start with 3 triple crochets into the space between those 2 cluster stitches. 1, 2, 3. And now to make that corner, we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and into the same space again between these 2 cluster stitches, we're going to put 3 more triple crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So immediately following the triple crochets, we're going to put 3 double crochets into this space here between the 2 cluster stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And at the top of whatever part of the square that we're looking at, we're going to be putting 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Following the 3 half double crochets, we need 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And turning our square here, you see that we are at what's going to be the corner again, which means we need to start this space between the 2 cluster stitches again with 3 triple crochets. So yarn over 2 times. 1, 2, and 3. And it's time to make our corner again, which we do by chaining 2. And into the same space, we need 3 more triple crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So immediately following our triple crochets again, we need 3 double crochets into the space between the next 2 cluster stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And then in this space right here, following 3 double crochets, we need 3 half double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. And you can see we're almost where we began once more. Right here, we need 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. So where we started here, what we essentially have is we have the part after what's going to be the actual corner. So we have what is going to be counted as 3 triple crochets. So what we need is we need 3 more triple crochets into this space here. 1, 2, and 3, and then we just need to make that last corner. So we're going to chain 2, 1 and 2, and we just need to make a slip stitch into the top of this chain 4. So we're just going to find that top chain there from the chain 4, insert our hook, pull up, oops, we're going to insert our hook, pull a loop through that chain and through the loop that's already on our hook. And then in order to finish our work, I'm just going to chain 1. I'm going to grab my scissors and cut off, pull up my hook and pull tight. And you can knot there if you want to make sure that it is more secure. You can see once again as I was working, the middle became a little loose, so I'm just going to grab this tail from the back again and pull tight. And then once you've done that for the last time, you can go ahead and you can weave that end in, and it should stay nice and tight like that. And all you'd have left to do, you have any ends in this back here that you'd need to weave back into the project into the like color. But beyond that, this is our finished project. So if you don't want to do the magic circle, you can of course do a regular slip knot and then chain either 4 or 5, I would say. But what you're going to end up with at the end is you're going to have a middle that is a bit bigger and you're not going to be able to tighten it in any way. So it's just something to think about. You can definitely do this project if you don't like or you don't know how to do a magic ring, but it's just going to look a little bit different right in that center there. And of course, you do not need to change your colors so many times. So right here, I did the same project with just 1 yarn in the middle and then a background color. So if you want to just keep it 1 color in the middle, you can certainly go ahead and do that. But if you want to, you have a lot of scrap yarn, you can go ahead and you can change colors and you can make it look something like a sunflower or another design that you might want to do. But this is our finished project for the Sunburst Granny Square, also known as the Sunflower Granny Square. Please let me know if you have any questions in the comments down below, or if there are any other tutorials that you'd like to see in a future video. Thank you.